Jake Paul just got knocked out, but not in the way he expected, because Mike Tyson's fight is officially cancelled. And no, this is not clickbait. I'm bringing the proof right here. This time, it's Tyson pulling the plug, and all thanks to Jake's endless pranks and his inability to take anything seriously. He's been taunting, mocking, and acting like he's auditioning for a bad comedy show. But it looks like the joke's on him because Tyson's had enough.
Tough guy Mike Tyson comes out when it's not necessary to come out.
After all the nonsense, Mike finally reached his breaking point and issued a cancellation threat. Honestly, let's hope it's more than just a warning, because a legend like Mike Tyson shouldn't even have to waste his time on someone like Jake.
Dude, it's unfortunately I have to fight and be that guy. I wish I could stop that guy. That guy haunts me.
Dude, we're getting ready for you.
Because Jake Paul's been doing some pretty ridiculous stuff lately, but this latest stunt, it's the kind of cringe that makes you want to hide behind the couch. So get this, Jake thought it would be a genius move to show up to his training in a fake fat suit. Yeah, you heard that right. He was wobbling around, looking like a deflated balloon, trying to pass off as some out-of-shape, washed-up version of Mike Tyson. Can you even believe that? It was so over-the-top ridiculous that it crossed the line from harmless joke straight into what were you thinking territory.
I believe that you're a cheater, and I believe that you use steroids. So I want to randomly steroid test you.
But hey, what else can you expect from a guy who thinks trolling is more important than training? Fans were quick to roast him for this, calling him out for being more focused on clowning around than actually preparing for what should be the biggest fight of his career. I mean, seriously, Jake, you're not auditioning for a stand-up comedy show. You're supposed to be fighting Mike Tyson, but instead of coming off as some hard-working athlete, he looked like he was gearing up for a slapstick skit.
Have 55 McDoubles, 25 fries, 100 nuggets, and 15 shakes.
Actually?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Tyson's not laughing, not even a little. At this point, Jake's antics are making it painfully obvious that he's got his eyes glued to the social media likes and shares more than the actual training schedule. The guy seems more obsessed with keeping his TikTok buzzing than, not getting his face rearranged by one of the most dangerous punchers in boxing history. Who thinks it's a good idea to mess around in a fat suit when you're just a few weeks away from facing a guy who could probably punch you into next week with his eyes closed? But nope, not Jake. He's too busy playing dress up like it's Halloween. That YouTube mentality just won't leave him, will it? And people are getting fed up. Some fans have straight up started calling him a wannabe boxer, saying he's only doing this fight to get more eyes on his brand. Not because he's serious about stepping into the ring. If that's what Jake wanted, congrats, buddy, mission accomplished. You've managed to look like a complete joke. And let's talk about what real training looks like for a second, shall we? While Tyson's busy knocking the stuffing out of heavy bags and probably training like the fight is tomorrow, Jake's out here pulling pranks at McDonald's drive-thrus and wearing ridiculous costumes to sparring sessions. Yup, he even made a whole skit pretending to work at McDonald's during what's supposed to be his fight prep. So what is this? An actual training camp, or some weird kind of comedy boot camp. The man has 4 years in the ring, barely any real experience, and yet here he is, acting like this is all one big joke. Tyson, the guy's got 4 decades of hardcore training behind him, and Jake's over here thinking he can goof his way through it. No wonder people are saying he's totally underestimating the legend he's up against. But what's crazy is that Jake doesn't even seem to care. Instead of working on his jabs or his footwork, the guy's more worried about selling his merch. Have you noticed that everywhere he goes, every interview, every video, it's all about flashing that giant W logo of his? It's like he's turned this whole fight into one giant commercial. It's more about getting people to buy his stuff than actually showing up in the ring prepared. That's why people are calling him out left and right. saying this fight is just a massive marketing tool for him. And you know what? It's hard to argue with them when Jake's putting more effort into his brand than into his boxing. But here's the kicker. If Jake thinks he can get away with it, he's got another thing coming. Tyson's not the type to just let this slide. He's already said that if Jake pulls any more stunts, the consequences are going to be brutal. Fans aren't going to buy any sob stories, and if Jake does back out, it's going to be a disaster. Not just for him, but for his entire brand. And with Tyson breathing down his neck, Jake's running out of options fast. Because Mike Tyson's noticing, his camp has reportedly reached out, basically saying if Jake keeps up these circus antics, there's going to be some serious repercussions. We're talking lawsuit-level serious. They've warned him that if this turns into a joke or a publicity stunt, they're going to slap him with a $200 million lawsuit. That's right, a $200 million lawsuit.
Like, they're suing me for something I didn't do. Like, on God, it's just the most bullshit thing. And I literally had to pay them a lot of money.
Mike's not playing around, and it's because there are big sponsors and networks pouring money into this, expecting a real fight, not some goofy YouTube prank reel. But does Jake look the least bit worried? Nah, the guy's still out here, putting on costumes and making cringe videos like he's got a death wish. It's almost like he's begging to get knocked out in the first round. Fans are already saying that if Jake keeps this up, he's going to walk into that ring, get absolutely destroyed, and that'll be the end of his whole boxing career in one punch.
Yeah, and then I wake up the next day and like have a phone call like with my lawyers for one of the lawsuits.
But maybe that's what Jake wants. Maybe he's thinking, hey, what better way to go viral than to get flattened by a legend? Because let's face it, nothing screams instant viral fame like a knockout from Mike Tyson. Bottom line, if Jake doesn't drop the clown act and start taking this fight seriously, it's going to get cancelled before it even starts. Tyson's team isn't messing around, and neither are the sponsors who've put up millions expecting an actual fight. So Jake better cut the nonsense and get serious. Or this could be the end, not just of the fight, but of any shred of respect he had left in the boxing world. Because when Tyson runs out of patience, things are going to get very real, very fast. And if you've been unlucky enough to follow Jake Paul on social media, you've probably seen him pulling all those ridiculous stunts. Be honest, did you ever for a second think he's serious or remotely worth all the hype and money people are throwing at him? Let me know, because right now, it's looking like the only thing Jake's taking seriously is his next goofy prank.